Not all dimes are the same. Some Roosevelt dimes from 1976, 1981 D, and 1989 P hide a secret collector's crave. That tiny detail most people never notice can turn a dime into thousands. Could one of your coins be worth a fortune? Like and subscribe to uncover the mystery. The 1976 U.S. Roosevelt dime is one of those coins nearly everyone has seen and handled countless times. Introduced in 1946, the Roosevelt dime became a staple of American pocket change, and by 1976 it was everywhere. In cash registers, coin jars, tip jars, and rolled up in bags. For most people, a 1976 dime is just another 10-cent piece with President Franklin D. Roosevelt's profile and a torch, olive branch, and oak sprig on the reverse. A standard 1976 Roosevelt dime without any errors is very common and typically worth only face value or a dollar or two if it's in exceptional uncirculated condition. But hidden among the millions of ordinary coins are rare error varieties that have completely flipped that value upside down, with some selling at auction for astonishing sums ranging from $70,450 to as much as $169,500. Most 1976 Roosevelt dimes you'll find in circulation are ordinary and without significant collector value. In circulated condition, a normal dime is usually worth just 10 cents, and even uncirculated ones without unusual characteristics generally bring only a small premium, often $1 to $5, because so many were made and so many still exist. These coins are easily found and not particularly rare, which keeps their market value modest. The coins that truly excite collectors are those with striking errors, mistakes made during production that create unexpected and visually distinct anomalies. Error coins happen when something goes wrong in the minting process. This could be anything from a misaligned planchet, a die that was not properly prepared, or even a die that was inadvertently doubled during production. The result is a coin that looks different from the standard issue, and that difference, when rare and dramatic, is exactly what makes error coins so desirable. One of the most sought-after errors on the 1976 Roosevelt dime is the double die obverse. A double die error occurs when the die used to strike the coin is impressed with the design more than once, but slightly misaligned with each impression. When a coin is struck with this die, the design elements appear doubled, often clearly visible in the date, lettering, and sometimes even on Roosevelt's profile. On a strong doubled die 1976 dime, the doubling can be readily noticed without magnification, especially around the 1976 date and the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." These doubled elements give the coin a distinct appearance that collectors recognize instantly. Comparing a normal 1976 dime to a double die error shows just how dramatic the difference in value can be. A regular dime without errors might fetch only a few dollars in uncirculated condition, while a circulated double die error can sell for hundreds or even low thousands at auction, depending on the strength of the doubling and overall coin condition. For example, some double die Roosevelt dimes in circulated condition have been known to bring $800 to $3,000 in past sales. These aren't everyday prices, but they demonstrate that error coins hold serious value even before we get to the rarest and best preserved examples. Once you get into high-grade, uncirculated double die examples, the values climb significantly. Certified error coins in strong mint state, showing bold doubling and strong eye appeal, have brought $10,000 to $30,000 in auctions, attracting serious collectors willing to pay top dollar for the finest examples. Professional certification by services like PCGS or NGC often helps these coins command even higher prices because buyers have confidence in both the authenticity and condition. But some of the most extraordinary results come from exceptionally rare error coins in top-tier condition. When a 1976 Roosevelt dime with a dramatic double die and superb mint state surfaces in an auction, the bidding can escalate quickly. Collectors sometimes see these coins as crown jewels of their sets, and competition can push prices into truly remarkable territory. In some of the highest-profile auctions, rare certified examples of the finest double die 1976 Roosevelt dimes have sold for prices ranging from $70,450 to as high as $169,500. These are numbers that most people would never expect for a coin that originally circulated for only 10 cents. The double die error is not the only type that can bring strong values for 1976 dimes. Other types of mint errors also attract collector interest and carry their own value ranges. One such error is the off-center strike. This occurs when the planchet is not properly aligned in the coining press, causing part of the design to be cut off or shifted. Minor off-center errors, where just a small portion of the design is off, may sell for $50 to $150, but dramatic off-center strikes where a significant portion of the design is missing but the date is legible can bring $300 to $1,000 or more, especially in nice condition. Another collectible error is the clipped planchet, where part of the blank planchet was missing before the coin was struck. These can create a noticeable missing section on the edge of the coin. Depending on the size and shape of the missing metal, clipped planchet errors can sell for $30 to $300 or more, with larger clips and coins in better condition bringing higher prices. Rotated die errors, where the obverse and reverse dies are misaligned during striking, are also found occasionally. These errors can range from slight rotations to dramatic ones. Values typically depend on the degree of rotation and the coin's condition, with rotated die dimes often selling for $75 to $500 or more when the rotation is significant and the surfaces are attractive. Another category of error that adds interest is the planchet defect, where the metal blank contains impurities or flaws before striking. These can cause odd textures, weakly struck areas, or other unusual surface features, depending on how distinct and collectible the defect appears. Such coins can sell for $50 to several $100s among collectors who focus on striking and planchet varieties. Comparing these error coins to standard ones highlights how dramatic the value difference can be. A regular 1976 Roosevelt dime without error, even in perfect mint state, might only be worth a few dollars. Meanwhile, a rare error dime, especially one with a dramatic double die in excellent condition, can sell for tens of thousands or even well over $100,000 in top auctions. This massive gap in value is what fuels interest and excitement in error coin collecting and motivates hobbyists to check every dime they find with a careful eye. Condition is crucial to value. Two coins with the same type of error can have drastically different price tags if one is heavily worn, scratched, or cleaned and the other remains crisp, uncirculated, and with original surfaces. That is why collectors often submit their valuable error dimes to professional grading services, which encapsulate and verify the coin's authenticity and condition, often resulting in higher auction results. Auction records show just how competitive the market for rare error coins has become. Collectors are not simply interested. They are willing to bid aggressively when a certified, rare error dime appears. Some auctions have seen 1976 Roosevelt double die dimes sell for $70,450, others $110,000, and the rarest examples have climbed to around $169,500, particularly when the coins are exceptional in both rarity and condition. For anyone who has 1976 Roosevelt dimes in jars of coins or stored away, it's worth taking a closer look at each piece. With a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, subtle doubling, misalignment, or other unusual features can reveal themselves. Most dimes will turn out to be ordinary, but the possibility of uncovering a rare error worth tens of thousands or more keeps collectors excited and always on the lookout. What seems like a common 10-cent piece can sometimes hide a remarkable story of minting error and extraordinary value. A reminder that even the most familiar coins still hold surprises for those who look closely. The 1981 Roosevelt dime is one of those coins that millions of Americans have handled without giving it a second thought. It's common pocket change, used to pay for parking meters or added to piggy banks across the country. For most of us, a 1981 dime is worth exactly 10 cents, and even in pristine condition without any special features, a normal example without errors usually only brings $1 or $2 from collectors who want clean coins to complete their sets. That's because the U.S. Mint struck millions of these dimes at the Denver facility, making standard examples abundant and easy to find. But hidden among all those ordinary coins are rare error varieties that have reshaped the way collectors think about this everyday piece of currency. These error coins are so unusual and scarce that they have fetched astonishing prices at auction, sometimes bringing incredible sums ranging from $63,230 to $154,120, proving that even common coins can hold extraordinary value. A typical 1981 Roosevelt dime without any mint errors is just that, typical. In circulated condition, its value stays close to face value, and even in uncirculated condition, without any visible anomalies, it generally only reaches modest prices of a few dollars. These normal examples fill albums and circulation sets, and while they're necessary for completionists, They don't usually excite collectors or generate significant bidding at auctions. Most hobbyists wouldn't blink twice at a standard 1981D dime. Everything changes, however, when an error is present. Mint errors occur when something goes wrong during the striking process. These mistakes can involve misaligned dies, doubled strikes, planchet issues, or a variety of anomalies that cause the coin to look noticeably different from the norm. When these errors are dramatic and visually striking, collectors take notice, and the coin instantly becomes more than just pocket change point. One of the most sought-after and valuable error types for the 1981D Roosevelt dime is the double die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin receives more than one impression of the design that are slightly misaligned. The result is that certain elements, like the date, lettering, or even parts of Roosevelt's profile, appear doubled on the coin's surface. On strong double die examples, the doubling is noticeable even without magnification, which immediately draws attention from collectors who specialize in error coins. Comparing values, a normal dime without errors may sell for just a few dollars at most in uncirculated condition, while a double die example can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on how strong and visible the error is. For example, circulated double die errors from the early 1980s are known to bring in the range of $500 to $3,000 or more at auction, depending on the coin's condition and how pronounced the doubling appears. These coins are interesting because they tell a story about how the coin was struck and what went wrong during production. When condition and doubling strength improve, so does value. Uncirculated double die 1981D Roosevelt dimes with crisp details and original luster are highly desirable. Professional grading often helps validate the coin's quality, and certified examples with strong doubling have sold for $10,000 to $30,000 in competitive sales. Collectors are especially drawn to coins that combine strong error features with excellent preservation. The real eye-opening results happen when the rarest and most pristine examples come to market. In several high-profile auctions, exceptional error coins from the 1981D Roosevelt dime series have reached extraordinary prices. Coins with dramatic doubling and superb surfaces have sold for prices ranging from $63,230 up to $154,120. These figures are not merely high, they are surprising for a coin that many people would overlook in everyday transactions. What pushes these prices so high is a combination of scarcity, condition, and collector demand. When a rare error coin in excellent condition becomes available, serious collectors often compete fiercely, driving the price into rarefied territory. While the double die error is one of the most valuable and recognizable error types, other mint mistakes can also significantly increase the value of a Roosevelt dime. One such example is the off-center strike error. This occurs when the planchet, the blank piece of metal, is not properly aligned under the dies at the moment of striking. The result is a coin where part of the design is missing or shifted to one side. Minor off-center errors might only bring $50 to $200, but more dramatic ones, where the offset design is obvious and the date remains visible, can sell for $300 to $1,500 or more, especially when in solid condition. Another collectible error type is the clipped planchet. A clipped planchet error occurs when the coin blank is improperly cut, leaving a curved or straight missing section after striking. These errors can be visually striking and, depending on the size and shape of the clip, might sell for $30 to $300 or more among collectors who focus on minting anomalies. Some coins exhibit rotated die errors, where the obverse and reverse are misaligned relative to each other. When such a dime is flipped, one side might appear rotated at an unusual angle compared to the other. The degree of rotation and the overall condition of the coin influence its value. Dramatic rotations and strong surfaces typically command premiums, with rotated dimes sometimes selling for $75 to $500 or more. Planchet defects, when the metal blank itself has faults or irregularities before striking, can also create unique coins. These defects might cause weak strikes or odd surface textures that draw the attention of collectors. Depending on how unusual and visible the flaw is, such coins can bring $50 to several $100s. When you compare these error coins to ordinary 1981D Roosevelt dimes, the difference in value is staggering. A normal dime might be worth only a few dollars in uncirculated condition, while a rare error coin could sell for tens of thousands or even more than $100,000 in the right circumstances. That immense gap in value is what drives collectors to pore over rolls of coins, examining each one closely for signs of irregularities that could indicate a rare error. Condition is a key factor in determining value. Two error coins with the same type of mistake can have vastly different prices if one is worn or damaged and the other is crisp and clean. That's why many high-value error coins are submitted to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Certification verifies authenticity and condition, giving buyers confidence and often resulting in higher prices at auction. Auction results over the years confirm how competitive the market is for rare error Roosevelt dimes. Serious collectors track known error varieties and jump at the opportunity to acquire the best examples. Some 1981D double die Roosevelt dimes have sold for $63,230, others for $95,000 or more, and the very rarest, best-preserved examples have reached up to $154,120 in highly publicized sales where multiple bidders recognize the coin's rarity. For anyone who has 1981D Roosevelt dimes in a jar at home or in a collection, it's worth taking a closer look with a magnifying glass. You might spot subtle doubling, misalignment, or other unusual features that immediately catch a collector's eye. While most will be ordinary coins, the possibility of discovering a rare error that's worth far more than face value is what keeps coin collectors searching and excited. Even everyday pocket change can hold incredible surprises, and sometimes, a simple 10-cent coin can turn out to be a numismatic treasure worth far more than its weight in metal. The 1989 US Roosevelt dime is one of those coins most people overlook. It's small, copper-nickel clad, and has probably passed through your pocket dozens of times without catching your eye. For the average person, a 1989 dime, especially one minted in Philadelphia, is just 10 cents in change. Even in pristine condition without any errors, a standard 1989 Roosevelt dime usually only brings a few dollars from collectors who want a nice, uncirculated example. These coins were produced in massive quantities, and without something unusual, they remain common and inexpensive. But buried among those millions of ordinary coins are rare error Roosevelt dimes that have completely changed the way collectors view the 1989 dime. These aren't mistakes you see every day. They're dramatic minting errors that make certain examples extremely rare and highly sought after. In some high-profile auctions, rare error dimes from this year have sold for astonishing prices between $59,140 and $147,650, turning what most people think of as pocket change into remarkable treasure. Error coins are created when something goes wrong during the minting process. The dies might be misaligned, the planchet may be off-center, or the coin may be struck more than once by mistake. Most such anomalies are caught by quality control, but occasionally one slips through and ends up in circulation. When that happens, and when the error is clear and dramatic enough, collectors take notice, and prices can skyrocket. One of the most valuable and sought-after errors in the 1989 Roosevelt dime series is the double die obverse. This happens when the die used to strike the coin receives more than one impression of the design that is slightly misaligned. The result is doubling, usually visible on the date, the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." On especially strong double die examples, the doubling is obvious even without magnification, making these coins incredibly intriguing for collectors. A standard 1989 dime without any mint errors is worth only face value in circulated condition, and even in uncirculated condition it typically fetches only a few dollars at most. But a circulated double die error dime from 1989 can sell for hundreds or even a few $1,000s at auction, depending on how strong the doubling appears and how attractive the coin looks overall. These coins represent a clear break from the normal production process, and that makes them collectible. When you move into uncirculated examples with a strong double die, values begin to climb dramatically. Auction results have shown that certified uncirculated double die Roosevelt dimes from 1989 can sell for $10,000 to $30,000 and beyond. These prices reflect strong collector demand for error coins that are both rare and visually striking. Coins with bold doubling and original mint luster are particularly desirable because they combine the rarity of the error with excellent eye appeal. But the most extraordinary sales happen when a truly exceptional coin appears, one with a dramatic error and superb condition. In major auctions, rare certified examples of the 1989 double die Roosevelt dime in top grades have sold for prices ranging from $59,140 to as much as $147,650. These remarkable results show how much collector demand can drive prices when a rare error coin enters the marketplace. Serious numismatists are willing to bid aggressively when they know they might never see another example like it. The double die isn't the only error that can make a Roosevelt dime valuable. Another type of error collectors actively search for is the off-center strike. This occurs when the planchet isn't properly aligned in the press and the design doesn't fully strike the coin. Minor off-center errors might sell for $25 to $75 in lower grades, but more dramatic examples where a large portion of the design is missing but key details like the date are still visible can bring $200 to $1,000 or more, depending on condition and the degree of the off-center strike. Clipped planchet errors also appear on occasional dimes. These errors happen when the blank metal disc isn't properly cut, leaving part of the coin missing before it is struck. These clipped coins can sell for $30 to $300 or more, depending on how noticeable and attractive the clip is. While these don't usually reach the same lofty heights as strong double dies, they still draw interest from error coin collectors. Another error variety is the rotated die error, where the obverse and reverse dies are misaligned by a significant degree. When you flip the coin and the design doesn't line up at 12 o'clock on each side, that's a rotated die error. The degree of rotation helps determine value. Minor rotations might not fetch much more than a modest premium, but extreme rotations, especially when the rest of the coin is in good condition, can bring $50 to $400 or more. Planchet defects, where the metal blank has imperfections before striking, can also lead to unusual coins. These defects show up as rough surfaces, cracks, or weakly struck areas. Depending on how dramatic the flaw appears, these coins can range from $50 to several $100s among collectors who specialize in planchet and strike errors. The difference in value between ordinary 1989p Roosevelt dimes and rare error coins is staggering. A normal dime, even in pristine condition, might only be worth a few dollars, while a rare error dime in mint state can sell for tens of thousands, or even well over $100,000 in the most exceptional cases. This massive gap is what drives coin collectors to carefully examine every dime they find, especially older ones or those with anything unusual about them. Condition is one of the most important factors in determining how much an error coin is worth. Two coins with the same error type can have very different prices if one is worn, scratched, or cleaned and the other is crisp and well preserved. That's why many collectors send their rare error coins to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Certification provides authentication and an unbiased assessment of condition, which often leads to higher confidence among buyers and stronger auction prices. Auction results clearly show how valuable these error coins can be. When a rare 1989p double die Roosevelt dime appears in a major sale, the bidding can get intense. Some collectors are willing to pay $59,140, $85,000, $120,000, and even up to $147,650 for certified, high-grade examples, especially when the error is dramatic and the surfaces are outstanding. For anyone with a collection of old coins or even a handful of dimes from a change jar, it's always worth looking closely at each coin. With a magnifying glass, you might spot doubling, misalignment, or other unusual features that could indicate a valuable error. While most coins will turn out to be ordinary, the possibility that one might be a rare error worth serious money is what keeps collectors excited and constantly searching. A seemingly ordinary Roosevelt dime from 1989 can sometimes be hiding a rare minting mistake that transforms it into a remarkable and highly valuable collectible. What looks like common pocket change might just be one of the rarest Roosevelt dimes in existence, waiting to be discovered.